significantly less than the value of the gems. But if you do require a escrow secured currency payment, we can offer 30,000 new yen.
You said 50, right? Out of character.
30.
30. All right, so 10 per person. Okay.
Of course. Should you be willing to recover these gems and take a cut and attempt to fence them on the local market, assuming you know the appropriate dealers who recognize the value of these, you should expect to get significantly more. These are our 2 offers for payment. We shan't be swayed.
Over D&I, do any of you know a fence or someone who could move this ice?
I was about to ask the same thing.
Absolutely not.
I'll take
Might
that as a no.
Might be able to contact my fixer, but beyond that, I don't really know anyone like that.
In that case, I personally would prefer the Nuyen. I don't know about you guys.
Nuyen sounds lovely.
Shakespeare sends a thumbs up emoji.
All right. We both get the mental image of a thumbs up emoji.
Very well. The woman pulls the data chip back, slots it into her comlink, and does some things. Pulls it out again and puts it on the table. The escrow account and confirmation details are stored on the data chip now.
Very well.
You do approve of banks in the Cayman Islands?
If not, then sorry, could you repeat the question? I didn't actually.
You do approve of banks in the Cayman Islands?
It's perfectly acceptable.
Very well. The broad African man, the Mr. Johnson, stands up and says, very well. Our contact details are on the data chip, as well as a couple of leads to set you going. We await your call and our rubies. Thank you. With that, the orc stands up and leaves, followed by Mr. Johnson and the slim African woman. They all line up at the counter to the swaybucks. Quite long line that'll take a good couple of minutes to clear. Clearly, they're waiting for you 3 to leave first.
Okay. Before he leaves, Turkish will buy some psych.
Right. What availability is psych?
0.
Really?
Yeah. It's fucking great. It's just candy.
Right. Stuffer shakes don't actually sell psych. You're going to have to go down the street to a chemist.
Okay.
Cool. So, down the street you can get some over-the-counter knockoff blister pack pills of psych.
Alright. I'd buy 3 doses of that.
Go.
Let's get to a legwork location. I can get us into Dante's, and we are downtown. Well, maybe what do you guys think? Should we check out the scene first, or should we do legwork first?
I'd say going to the scene is part of legwork, but seeing as we're right next to First Avenue, I'd say we should stop by there at least.
Yeah, agreed.
So, by the way, at my table, I always keep forgetting to announce this, but there's actually a runner's planning document in the handouts. Feel free to nuke whatever's in there and write your own notes. All of you can update it.
Okie doke. So, as we're like heading towards this location, every so often Turkish will open his third eye and see if that tail of spirits is still there.
It's definitely still there.
Nice.
In fact, you've picked up another 1 or 2.
All right. Turkish will say to the rest of the team, I am very obvious on the astral, and I seem to have picked up shall we say, a crowd of small spirits. And given that, if there's anyone looking, like, surveilling the scene of the crime, they'll pretty much immediately know I'm there. So what we may want to do is send you guys there while I head somewhere else. I'm not sure. Let hashtag Team Mundane do the job.
All right. Davion, you got wheels?
I have what, sorry?
Do you have wheels?
Indeed I do. I'm the rigger. I would be embarrassed if I did not have my wheels.
It's going to be faster to walk.
All right, well, we'll just walk then.
It's less than half a mile.
Yeah. That's like a 5-minute walk at most.
Something like that. I
Yeah.
mean, also there's traffic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, fuck it. I'll head over there. It may be useful to have a mage on site.
So, you guys walk past Matchsticks and down onto First Ave. There you see a active knight errant investigation with a cordoned off section. Even from this distance, you can see the burning car, the numerous shell casings on the ground, the bullet holes in a couple of windows and walls, and the weird sort of people here are just a little bit more on edge than they should be at this kind of thing.
Johnson works fast.
Seems so. Turkish has like vision mag and so forth on his goggles. Can I try to get a better look from here and see what I can pick up just from
the number of cars and people in the way means that if you want to get a good look, at this point you're going to have to get somewhere elevated or climb up on a car or something else to see over. Otherwise, you could push closer.
That's what I was thinking. If there's a fire escape on a building or something that I could get up on.
Yeah, these are all sort of 50 and 60-story shiny corporate towers around here. There's no sort of fire escapes down alleyways you can easily climb up.
Okay.
Is there somewhere like maybe the 5th floor would be accessible? So like somewhere high enough up that I can see the scene?
I was actually going to continue, but
sorry.
There's a number of balcony bars and cafes and bookshelves around. I mean, this is very commercial. You can just sort of wander in, get the escalator up to the 2nd or 3rd floor, go out onto the balcony and have a good look down over the crime scene.
All right. Turkish will find one without a mana barrier, because some establishments do have that. And then he'll head up high and try to survey the scene from up there.
All right. So Turkish, Davion, and Shakespeare head up to a 2nd-story bookshelf / cafe / bar thing and go out onto the balcony. There's, actual planters of actual plants around here, hardy acid rain resistant ones, and you're looking through a cloud of people, cars, neon, AROs and so on to a crime scene. If you try and use any kind of electronics, there are great big AROs in place, black and yellow striped knight errant investigation cordon, blocking off electronically enhanced vision to the area. But if you've got some kind of vision magnification that doesn't rely on electronics, go ahead. Otherwise, you're just going to have to look with your, actual eyes that don't see AROs.
I'm assuming that vision mag in glasses would count as electronic.
Yeah, if it's wirelessly on, it's seeing these AROs.
Yeah. So Turkish will, with great reluctance, he'll turn off his shades. Actually, he'll turn the wireless off. He won't actually take them off, and then he'll try looking down on the crime scene.
Cool.
Same with Shakespeare.
Right.
Davion will do the same, only just slyly peer over his glasses.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys look down over this crime scene. There are 6 knight-errant patrol cars forming a perimeter. They're probably the things with the arrow projectors mounted on them. And there is a forensics van on site already. Looking down, you can count about 6 bodies. 4 of them African, 3 males, 1 female, and 1 of them Caucasian. There's a spread of mesh types. The Caucasian troll is quite evidently dead, and of the Africans, 3 of the men are orcs, and 1 of the men are human, and the lady is a human. They all look quite tough. They seem to have been wearing, you know, like fairly heavy, maybe armored clothing. And the car that is on fire, Davion, do you recognize it as having concealed armor emplacement modifications? As well as the place on the roof where a turret would have popped out. But that's actually kind of consumed by fire and the turret was blasted off. And so there's just sort of a hole in the roof that's on fire. The car's still burning slightly, even though it's been sprayed down with retardant foam. There's a serious number of bullet holes all over this area. And you see that a couple of the security cameras near this area are actually smoking and slagged slightly, as if they've been burnt out from the inside, or shot, or maybe. You don't really know. The entire scene takes up a good intersection, and there are skid marks and a couple of other remnants of battle around, you know, like smashed up stuff, shattered glass, and so on.
Can I take a look at if there's like skid marks on the road to see where the getaway car would have gone?
Cool. Do you have any kind of knowledge skill related to driving?
Do I?
I don't know. Do you have one on your character sheet?
Sure. I have pilot groundcraft, 1 rank in it.
I have knowledge cars as well, if that helps.
Yeah, okay. I'll let Turkish roll
I was
knowledge
thinking more of like a
cars.
tracking roll, but yeah.
It's not really
The
so much
knowledge
a
game, yeah.
tracking roll, because you can see which direction the skid marks went. This is they sort of come around the corner, come to a stop, then they like reverse direction and go back around a different corner. Yeah, Turkish. From your knowledge of cars, you recognize that the skid marks probably belong to a aftermarket sedan. They're distinctly wider and darker than usual, indicative of heavy rubber tires, possibly run flat model.
Okay.
Yeah, this wasn't the other skid marks clearly belonged to the burning out car. This wasn't a van or a truck or something. This was a sedan that made the skid marks. And so you're looking for a sedan.
A sedan in Seattle, the easiest job in the world.
A aftermarket sedan with run flat tires.
Fair enough. So that's still a lot of the security companies, but yes.
All right.
Would the bodies in the street look like they were carrying weapons or maybe had
They
holsters?
definitely were carrying weapons.
So maybe
Yeah, so
aftermarket sedan with bullet holes.
yeah. So of the 4 Africans, the 2 orcs and the female human are holding AK-98s, the illegal grenade launcher variant. The male human, however, is merely holding a submachine gun. Looking closely at the weapons and the bodies, you can see that one of the orcs is clearly had their chest ripped open by something. And the other